I got excited.
We're excited that you're here. There, we can talk now. We're recording. We're so pumped. We love meeting you, and we love chatting with you. And we really, this call is for you. So I want to make sure that you get your questions answered and that you feel like you have a really good understanding of what this is and all the things. So we're just gonna keep this super casual. But the one thing that I personally love about what it is that we do is that we get to meet people from all over the United States, the UK, and Canada. So if you would be so cool and put in the chat window just where you're from, I think it's really cool to see just everyone from all over.
I'll start.
Yeah.
Shawnee, Kansas.
So that's a suburb of Kansas City, and I've lived in Kansas my whole life. Dean's actually from the Kansas City area. I moved up here, but
we adopted her.
Yeah, Ohio, Oklahoma. That's so awesome. I actually lived in Enid, Oklahoma for 2 years when I was a little girl, the age of the twins.
Yeah.
That's a side note.
You've got good memory of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I do. I have a little memory. But if you're on this call, that just means that either myself, Dean, Becky, or somebody else on our team thinks that you would make a great fit in addition to our team. But again, this call is really for you. We really want to make sure that you have a really good understanding, you get all your questions answered, and all of the things just laid out there. So myself and Dean are going to share our story, and so is Becky. And I'm actually going to have Becky start and just kind of tell, she's been coached, so she'll tell you all the things, but really excited to have her share tonight.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, thanks guys. Thanks for having me. So as Kelsey and Dean said, I have been coaching for a little over a year now, but I am not new to Beachbody. I have been a customer for probably 10 years now. I was one of those people who, used to watch infomercials and saw Tony Horton on TV and P90X and purchased some DVDs. And that was it for me. I really didn't enjoy going to the gym at all. I've always been just a very active and fit person. So doing those home workouts was just like everything for me. So along kind of the way after having babies. And I always went back to my Beachbody programs, whether it was Insanity or anything by Shailene, I will always love and go back to. But one thing that was really missing for me is the nutrition piece. I probably would go out to dinner, go out to lunch, go out to breakfast at least 5 days a week. It was really sad. I was spending a lot of money. I was not healthy. I was working out a lot and not really seeing any benefits from it. And about a month before I had my third daughter, I decided, in order to really hold myself accountable, and I need some support. And that's when I started, following Kelsey and Dean. I also, followed a couple other coaches, to see kind of the span of the, different personalities, different workout styles, different, focus, whether it was on nutrition really heavily or different workout programs. So I followed a bunch of different coaches before I really kind of felt awesome about what Dean and Kelsey brought as a team of coaches and what they did, in terms of mentorship, and felt a good connection with, we're both moms of 3 and we like margaritas and going to spin class. So there's a lot of things that I felt really awesome about in working with Dean and Kelsey. So that's when I decided this is what I need to really be, hold myself accountable to, learning more about nutrition, to, really taking control of my health. And that's how it really started for me. It was at the time, it was less about, hey, I'm going to build a business. It really started with, hey, I'm, at my heaviest I've ever been. I need to get back in shape. I need to take control of my health and nutrition. And this was a good way for me to start. So since then, fast forward just about a year. And I've really just seen the potential of what can happen when, I give myself that 30 minutes every day to fit my exercise in. I actually learned about what food my body needs, that skinny doesn't equal healthy or strong. And, calories are not just calories. And, all of that has been a journey, has been a process. And it all kind of started, with the accountability piece and deciding to join a team that was going to help me and support me along the way.
I love that, Becky. I didn't know some of that. That's so cool. And I think what's been so cool for me to watch you is you signed up when you were still pregnant and you started your and health journey pregnant. And I think so many times people think that when they're pregnant that they can't do this or X, Y, and Z, where you have the mindset no, I'm going to start this now. I want to be healthy pregnant. And then I want to get in the best shape of my life postpartum. And knowing that nutrition was kind of that gap that you needed, and then coaching was going to give you that built-in accountability that you needed to follow through with what you ultimately wanted.
Absolutely.
And I think what happens with so many of us, and it happened with me, and I know it happened with you, is you get in, you get results, then you go, oh my gosh, I have to share this with people. I have to do this because I'd be so selfish if I didn't. What a jerk if I don't tell people about this. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what happens naturally. And then you start hearing about people that are building a business, and you're like, wait, everyone's so different. There's stay-at-home moms, there's working moms, there's people that have all these degrees, and then you're like, well, why not me? By golly, why not me? And so I think that's really cool to hear that perspective. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll share our story.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, I cannot believe I have been coaching now for 6 years. It does not feel like 6 years. It literally feels like 2, but it's been 6. And I started for the very similar reasons that Becky did. I was the girl that was so inconsistent with even working out. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I was the girl that thought the smart ones, the frozen meals, were healthy because they labeled them that way. And so I would eat those, and I was not consistent with working out. And so when I approached Dean with this idea of coaching, he laughed at me because I was the most inconsistent person in regards to that. But I had tried everything. I did a program, was starting to see results, and I was excited about the little bit of results I was getting. So I hadn't done it for very long. And I knew, and I still know this about myself today, that I needed that built-in accountability, or I was going to fall off the train. And I was going to just be on this vicious cycle of my whole life. And I didn't want it to be that way. I truly wanted to create a lifestyle that I could do anytime, any season of my life. I just really wanted to make my health a priority. And knowing that, being a mom, I just know that I have 3 little girls watching me, and I just want them to live a healthy lifestyle. And so I got in for the built-in accountability. I knew if I could let myself down, but I was not going to let other people down. And so if I was going to link arms with Becky, if I was going to link arms with all of you or, other people on our team, I was going to hold true to what I said I was going to do. And ultimately that's what I wanted for myself. So I started with the built-in accountability, but I got in, and I will never forget, I attended, well, let me back up a little bit here. So you were super absolutely no. And so
yeah, I didn't share the same excitement that both Kelsey and Becky had in the beginning. Probably like most husbands, I was less than thrilled of the idea of my wife joining a multi-level marketing company, because that's something that we had always discussed that would never happen. Mm-hmm. I had this fear, and I'm sure like most of you that have significant others on this call, is I didn't want my garage full of product. I didn't want my basement full of product. I didn't want weird people in my living room on Saturdays and Sundays with my kids. Those were the thoughts and the fears that I had in my head. I didn't want my wife turning into this salesperson on social media that I've watched so many other people do and fall on their face with. But Kelsey has this way with her that she's very convincing, especially when you're married to her, and she doesn't give up when she really wants something. And, you know, I was just hoping that she would forget about it. She would drop it. She would literally be up late at night thinking about all these, like, brainstorming ideas of how she could help people. And you could tell she was really, really putting a lot of thought in this. This wasn't just like a sporadic thing that she was going to do. But one thing that she was smart with is she shared that vision with me. She didn't tell me necessarily, like, she didn't just stop with what she was going to do. She shared with me the why and the how that she was going to do it. She had a plan going in place, and she promised me that she wouldn't become salesy. She wouldn't just blast. She would share just her story, her journey through it, and who knows what can happen with it as far as that goes. And then here we are 6 years later. You know, I said, no, hell no, hell no. But I watched somebody stay so consistent that I said, fine, spend the money, you can sign up, but just do not, I'm not doing it. You leave me out of it. I've got the gym to go to. You can do your little beach body thing that you're going to do. And, you know, I'd poke fun of it. But it was really challenging for me as someone that was being negative, or some of you will call a hater, to dog on somebody that started paying your electric bill, started paying your car payment, and started paying your mortgage over time because she went along with this plan of serving people, going into conversations with people with them in mind, without a sell in mind, with being an investigator of figuring out what they need to help get them results. You've heard the saying, like, if you help enough people get the results that they want or see success for themselves, your success will be taken care of. That is exactly what she did. But, you know, it wasn't a lot of late nights of scrolling Facebook. It was a lot of nights working. When she was on her phone, I knew she was working. Mm-hmm. When she was on her computer, I knew she was working. She was hosting calls and, you know, doing challenge groups and helping people get results, helping people earn an income, helping people get their products paid for right off the get-go. And I thought, you know, this is pretty cool in the beginning. It was kind of she was starting to make a little money. And I thought, well, the worst thing out of this is she's not only transforming on the outside, but she's becoming stronger mentally. She's battling postpartum because of this, because it's challenging her to stay mentally tough. It's giving her an outlet to get through.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this unfold, and I'm like, man, really, this is a lot cheaper than therapy. And I'm thinking that to myself, like, this is like a fraction of therapy, and it's her outlet. It's her thing. It's hers. It's something that she owns, and she takes ownership of it. And for a woman, I think that is really awesome. I think that is really good, because I've got a group full of women on here, and I'm not dogging you women, but you, for whatever reason, you put everybody first ahead of yourself. And I don't know if that's just a woman thing. I don't know, like, if that's science.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the first time, she started taking care of herself before everybody else. And to me, that's a good thing. To me, I want that. Because if she takes care of herself, everybody else gets taken care of as well. But over time, I started seeing that unfold, and I became less of a hater because I started seeing the things that she promised were going to happen without doing the things that I was fearful of. We've still never had an in-home party trying to sell products. And trust me, I've been to some with presentations, and they're horrible. Okay. The first one I ever went to was a sex toy party. I was freaked out. Okay. So
TMI,
you can imagine,
TMI.
you can imagine what I'm thinking that this is going to be like. So just keeping it real. But we never had that. I don't have any product in my garage, which is amazing. They handle all that for you. So these things that really came true, she worked hard. She stayed consistent. It's held her accountable for the first time ever. You talk about somebody that would back out on you going to the gym. That was her. You talk about somebody that loves to sleep. That's her. So when she knows that there's a group like this style setting coming to show up to work out with her, you can bet your butt she's not going to let you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just thought I would share.
Yeah. Well, and at the time before I made the decision, I was super excited about it. And you were all like saying the negative things that you were saying, just questioning, like doing your normal Dean thing, like really questioning, which made me feel like you didn't want me to do it. And you're like worried I was going to be a salesperson, have these parties, talk all these products. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, maybe he's right. I'm not a salesperson. Like, I don't want to be a salesperson. Never do I want to be a salesperson. And I actually worked at the Buckle when I was going through college. And if you've ever been to the Buckle, you know that they're commission based. And so they had put me out on the floor. I did not sell a thing for 2 weeks, like not one thing.
Girlfriend couldn't even sell a hanger.
I mean, I couldn't sell a hanger. And so the manager, but really nice, of course, but she's like, Kelsey, we love having you on our team, but we actually feel like you might be a better fit in the back. We're going to have you unload the security, or we're going to have you unload all the shipment.
It's really nice. The air conditioner just broke, but you just think of all the calories you're going to burn.
I put all the security sensors on all the clothes, and there was no air conditioning back there, but I did get to listen to music. That's the positive from it. But I mean, I'm just not a salesperson, so I didn't want to ever become that. And so when I learned more about it, because I did research and I asked lots of questions, I learned that it was it's just about serving people. It's about helping people. And it's about learning something and then turning around and telling somebody else what you just learned. So like it's that way with anything. Like if I learn a house system, I'm going to turn around and tell my Instagram stories this house system that's working for me. If I have found like a really simple breakfast idea that I love and it's easy, I'm going to share that because it's helping me. If I learn a new app that's really fun with like my lip syncing battle called Triller, I'm going to screen record how you do it and I'm going to share it with my team. If I'm learning really awesome things about Instagram, guess what? I'm going to team up with another top coach and I'm going to host an Instagram masterclass because that's just how our team is. We have that abundance mindset where if something's working or if we learn something, we're going to turn around and teach somebody what we just learned. And so that's all coaching is. And that's all what we do. We definitely have like this positive community where we just want to link arms and we want other women to see success. And I think that's what really separates our team from other teams is it's not, oh, I figured something out. I'm not going to tell anybody.
We've got
about
the abundance
this.
mindset.
It's more of like, oh, this is working. Let's get together and let's talk about it and let's improve on it. Or I want Becky to make sure she knows this because this is working. Or I want to make sure Jessica knows this because it's working. Or for example, in our boot camp this month, I know Becky rocks time nutrition. I know Jessica is a vegetarian, and I do the foundational fix. And so we all have been taking turns going live in the group, sharing what's working for us with nutrition. So we definitely have this abundance mindset and this mindset that we want you to see success. And that's why our team right now is ranked in the top 50 of the company out of over 400,000 is because new people are coming in, just like you coming in, and you're seeing success because we're helping you do that. And we're not just, one thing you always hear is, oh, I get in and my upline just disappears. We're not that team. We're the team that we don't just want to bring you in and just say, good luck. Good luck, go have fun. Like we really want to help you see success and we want you to hit your goals, whatever those goals are. So that's what we're really, really passionate about. Our team name is Conquer Nation. And so our mission statement behind that is together we're conquering our fears to help others become physically, spiritually, and financially fit. And why that fires me up is because to me, that means that we're just everyday normal people. There's nothing special about us. We're hardworking moms. We are hardworking people. But we're sometimes feel like a hot mess and like we're losing our, losing it.
Our car keys.
We're losing our car keys. But I just feel like together we're better, and together we're going to conquer our fears. Meaning we're going to maybe post a transformation for the first time. We're going to post to social media for the first time. We're going to maybe press play on a workout and maybe we haven't worked out in 5 years. We're doing the things that scare us because we know it's not about us. We're pressing play on a workout, yes, to get healthy, but because we're being an example for our children. It's not about us. It's about showing our kids what's possible. We're stepping outside of our comfort zone and posting a transformation because we know that there's another mom out there suffering with postpartum depression, or feels like she doesn't have community, or feels like she's tried everything in the books and she just cannot stay consistent. So we're stepping outside our comfort zone for other people to know what's possible, to help them become physically, spiritually, and financially fit.
We were actually on a call last night with a coach. You reminded me of this.
Yeah.
Who her daughter is, I think, just starting high school basketball, maybe trying out. She's kind of struggling with basketball right now. And she has gone through this like journey of trying to improve with basketball and keep at it. And she told her mom, she said, I've watched you lose 50 pounds by showing up every day and working really hard. And so that's what she's passed on to her daughter, because her daughter knows that I may not be the best at basketball, but I know if I work really, really hard, I can get there.
Yeah.
And she's watched her mom do that and has never told her mom that up until now. But her mom has shown up every day, day in and day out, done the hard workouts, pushed herself, leveled up, and it's being passed on for her daughter. Yeah. And her daughter knows what it's like to work hard for something that you believe in.
So this isn't just about a workout, and it's not just about drinking a shake or doing the things. It's truly about being that best version of yourself that you were created to be. And to know that if it's not about making these huge steps every single day, it's about making one decision and becoming 1% better every day, and knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you have a community to lean into and to ask questions to and to be supported by. And I think this community is amazing, and I just can't imagine my life without it. And I want you to feel that. And I want you to be a part of that. And I want you to be able to lean in and have that same kind of community, even though it is online. And maybe Becky's in Ohio and I'm in Kansas City, but we still have that relationship and we can still meet on Zoom. And it's really powerful and really cool. So do you have any questions at this point? I know.
Hold on. Before we get into that, I wanted to say one thing.
Okay, go for it.
It doesn't look like we had everybody check into where they're from.
Oh.
And I forgot to mention that everybody that does check in, we're going to enter into a gift card giveaway tonight.
What?
So all you got to do is drop your name and where you're from, and we're going to pick a random person out of a random drawing and give you a gift card via email. You don't even have to come to my house and pick it up. You can just sit in your comfies at home, and I'll email it to you. Email, it's the craziest thing these days.
Email.
But
yeah.
And in speaking of tips, sharing tips, like she was talking about recipes. If you guys haven't watched my Instagram, I literally found out that if your daughter poops her pants, the easiest way to get it out is take them out to the garden hose and use a spray nozzle to get them out, and do it in your neighbor's yard. And that was a tip that I gave away on my stories. So I just wanted to share that with them because I wanted to bring value to them tonight. I wanted them to take away something.
Gosh.
But literally we teach people how to be themselves.
Yeah.
Be yourself unapologetically. This is not about selling anything.
Mm-mm.
You're selling yourself. Okay.
Kelsey
and I spent 3 hours this morning going through and helping our coaches with their Instagram and doing what we call an Instagram audit, where we send them a video. We go through their Instagram. If anybody's nervous about Instagram, Facebook, social media, we got you. we help you. We've got a training for that.
Yeah. And
Okay?
we're not trying to make anybody be anything they're not. We're trying to like let them lean into who they are. And I think that's what's really cool about it too.
Yeah. So, and we do the things that we wish we would have had. And that's why we do it. That's what separates us apart. There's not like a one size fits all, because when you sit down and you've become a coach and you become a part of coach on our team, we walk through what you need, what your goals are. And we work through that. Just like if you were to go in the emergency room, the doctor doesn't come out in the emergency room and immediately start writing you a prescription. They sit there and they triage you and ask you, what are your symptoms? How long have you had this fever? What are your,
Do you have a cough?
Yeah. Do you have a cough? Is your nose running?
Yeah, they ask you a bunch of questions.
So, and they figure out what you need first. They listen. That's what sets us apart, is because we know not every person needs just one thing. This isn't like a gelatin mold that fits for everybody. So I just want to throw that out there.
Love it.
Because I know there's a lot of people that have a fear of that with social media.
Yeah.
Okay, so looks like we got some people checking in now. Columbus, Ohio, Wake Forest. Sweet.
I love it. See how cool
Milwaukee.
is this?
Milwaukee, cool. We're going up to Minnesota this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how far that is from Milwaukee, but Rochester. Anyway, so does anybody have any questions? Becky, did you need to add anything? You're good?
We can kind of explain how the mentorship works, like what happens.
Yeah.
And then if you have questions, like don't you be afraid. Like you can just unmute yourself. You can
Hold
ask
on. Let me do this. I like this call to be interactive. So does anybody give a darn about what the mentorship looks like? Because if you don't, we can just end the call.
You know what? I'll say one thing about the mentorship. Okay. I have been part of other MLM companies in the past.
Okay.
And one of the things that completely blew my mind, and I didn't even know this when I, started exploring coaching, I didn't have a mentorship program in this other company. And I'm not going to say what the company was because it's a very lovely company. Products are great. I didn't have any training. I didn't have team meetings. I didn't have, there was that zero lack of community. So that mentorship program, that was like, oh, you guys, I don't have to figure this out for myself. Like I was in this mindset, like, I'm going to work out and I'm going to do the things, but I thought I'd have to figure things out just on my own. So that was a complete surprise, like pleasant surprise. And I think something that really sets our team apart from what I've experienced elsewhere.
Oh, I love that, Becky.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. It's all the training is all available for you to pass on to other people.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you have to like figure out how to be perfect and create all these trainings, and the wagon wheel is already created for you. Use it. That's kind of how we work.
Yeah.
And like we said, we've got the mindset that if we all win, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
So we try to make sure that we all win. We want everybody to win.
Yeah.
So
really, like step number one is to help you get results. We want you to experience a program. We want you to experience the products. We want you to feel how you're going to feel doing these things. Because
we want you proud. We want you proud of yourself. We want you proud of the programs and products enough to be able to talk about them and to share, and so that you have firsthand experience with them.
Yeah.
We want to help you build your confidence in that too. And the best way to do that is to be an example of it.
Yeah. And that's how you don't become a salesperson. Like if you can actually say like, hey, I've used this straightener. I know this is not a straightener company, but then you can say, I love this straightener and here's why. It doesn't like grab my hair. It doesn't like get too hot or whatever the reasons you like it. Well, the same is true with these workouts, and you're going to experience them and you can talk about them because it's your story. It's what you've experienced is why you like it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a huge part of this. So that's step number one. And once we get you started with that, then we'll send you what we call like a welcome email. And we love to get you on the call and just really dive into your goals. Like, what do you want out of this? Because again, this is your business. We don't want to put, you take it at your own pace based off your goals, and we'll help you kind of break those things down and customize it really to you. And so that would be step number 2. And then we get you enrolled in what's called our 7-step new influencer training. So it's basically goes over some social media stuff. It talks about how to set up your online office, how to get other people started. It goes into how to like really set up your bio and all of the things on Instagram. And then then we'll get you plugged into like our team page. And that team page, we have like a monthly calendar. So you never feel lost. You can look at that calendar and know exactly what's happening. And that's also where we'll do like, I'll go live and I'll share some tips of what I'm learning. And just like today, like I posted today a video in our mentorship group all about that new app that I was telling you about and exactly how I do it. And so that's kind of where we go. It's like the next level kind of thing. And so we have that access for you as well. So our mentorship never ends. It's not like we get you in and we just spend like a week with you and then we're like, okay, have fun. Like it really is ongoing. And I think that is what's so awesome about it as well. We also will set you up and put you into what we call our squad pods. So these are based off your goals and where you're at in your business. So as you grow and develop in your business, you kind of move pods. And the reason for that is we found that, if you've been coaching for 2 years, you're going to have very different questions than a brand new coach coming in. And so we do it that way. So that way, let's say Jamie starts the same time Andrea starts. And so Andrea might have a really great question. And now Jamie's like, oh, I didn't even think about asking that. But now that question's been answered for me. So we put you in those pods just to get to know each other, to build that community, and to, almost kind of push together if you have very similar goals, which I think is awesome to be able to do that. So that's how our mentorship is really set up. And then the other thing that I had a question on when I was starting is, am I going to have to like come up with all this myself? Like, am I going to have to like make a new coach train? Like, no. The answer is no. You use everything that we have created for you. So you don't have to recreate anything. You direct people to that 7-step influencer training. You use our squad pods. If you're getting people in a boot camp the first couple months, you join our community boot camp. You get them in that too. So it's not like you have to do all of the things. As you grow and develop, you'll probably want to, but that's not expected in the beginning. So you can take a big deep breath on that one. We understand you have lives. You're probably moms and you work a full-time job and all the things. So let's look here if we have any questions. How many people are on your team and how do you meet? So we meet
How often do you meet?
Oh, how often do you meet? Sorry, I read that wrong. I need to go back to like kindergarten. Learn how to read.
Just go with Ruby.
So we meet, really, we do pop-up trainings. So I love to have at least 2 a month. And you're usually in the evenings about like times like this. And we'll do like a pop-up training. And it will be based like this month. We had an Instagram masterclass where it really talked about Instagram. We had a guru come on and talk about, she's an author of a book that actually she just wrote called Stories That Stick. And that's all about posting and talking and sharing your story and how you do that. So we have people like that come on and help us really grow and develop. And those we call them pop-up trainings. So that happens, I would say, at least twice a month. And then how many people are on our team? Like team wide, I think there's like about 350 people in.
There's 339.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 350 people in our Conquer Nation group.
But that's including Becky and Becky's coaches and Jessica and Jessica's coaches.
Correct. Yep.
So those are not all Dean's coaches.
No. Yeah. But we definitely
love the Instagram class, Jamie says.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So awesome.
That's awesome.
Love hearing that.
We've actually had a couple people reach out to us that want us to help them build their Instagram, like companies build their Instagram. And I'm like, no.
Like, will you mentor us? And I was like, no. Our time, our attention no time is that. For you guys. Like, we want to help you. So all you. But.
Good questions.
Yeah. Any other questions for us tonight?
Now, my rule is after we get off this call, you cannot send me a Facebook message and say, hey, I forgot I had a question I forgot to ask, because that means you're too shy to ask on the call. All questions are final and they have to be made on the time of the call. I'm just kidding. You guys need to lighten up. Just kidding. But I do encourage you to ask your questions here. I really one thing that I don't ever want this team to become is very uptight and very selfish with the trainings and like what they're learning, but also two, like afraid to ask questions and afraid to speak up and give their ideas and share. So I want to start that like right now.
And can I add one thing? I want our team to be really fun.
Yes. Yes.
Lip syncing contest, dance contest, toe touches. Becky, I learned she was a cheerleader. You don't have to be a cheerleader to be on the team, just a side note, but just have fun. Like, I'm all about working really hard and having a mission and making an impact and filling a purpose in our life, but have fun doing it. Like, let's just have fun doing it, right? I was a beach body coach in the past. I loved it, but let yourself go. I have been hesitant to come back, but I need it and I miss it, especially for accountability for myself. Amen. Like, I'm like, I still need this accountability. Like, for sure. It's a huge piece of it. I really do think.
Maybe I missed this, but how do I make money again?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So there's two different ways that you can make money. The first is with making a sale. You're going to make 25% on any sales that you make. But remember that you do not have to be a salesperson. I would urge you to go to Becky's page, Jessica's page, my page. You're not going to see like stock photos of Beachbody programs or products or anything like that. We don't do that. We lead with who we are and helping and serving. Sales happen naturally when you just want to help people. And so we'll teach you all of that, of course. But you do make 25% off any sales. And then the other piece of this is building a team of people who also want to leave a legacy and also want to help other people and build a business as well. And so that's the part that over time, it gets lucrative. The business can get lucrative. But it's that piece of not quitting and sticking it out and continuing to do the thing. I heard, I'm going to screw this whole story up, but it was a different MLM company and they had met up and they were talking about it. And the one guy's like, oh, I did that. And he's like, oh yeah, I still do that. And he was like, I wish I could have been successful with it. And the other guy that was still in it just said, he goes, what do you think was the secret? Like, why are you so successful? And he looked at him and he's like, I didn't quit.
I'm still here.
And it truly is that simple. Like, you just have to continue to show up, put in the time and the consistency, and you'll reap the benefits of it. So I think that's really important to know. And I think that part of it is very similar to, like, I always like to relate it to Chipotle. Like, if you were to open up, let's say Dean is the headquarters corporate Chipotle. I have a Chipotle in Kansas City and Becky has a Chipotle in Ohio, and we're both opening them up at the same time. corporate's job is to make sure that we're hiring really good people, that our recipes are the same, that,
Why do you got your hand on corporate all the time?
Sorry. But that's their job. And so that way, if, Jessica would walk into my Chipotle or walk into Becky's, she's going to have the same experience. And that way, and then in return, my Chipotle is going to be successful. Becky's Chipotle is going to be successful. And guess what? Corporate's going to be successful. And so this is the exact same way. It's kind of like opening up your franchise business, except for you get way more freedom than what you get with Chipotle, because you get to brand yourself versus somebody telling you this is how you're supposed to brand. So I think that's really cool. So those are the two different ways that you get paid and make money. Money, money, money. Yeah, Chipotle. Let's go get it, Becky.
So I have what is the success rate of your mentees successful in your opinion?
Yeah.
So obviously the success of each person is based on his or her own efforts, right? We all know that. Like if Jessica does nothing and Becky does everything, Jessica's gonna struggle a little bit more.
And this isn't true.
This isn't true. I'm just
that was an example.
They're the blunt end of a bad example right now. So, but obviously Jessica won't see the success as fast as Becky. But I will say that everybody that goes through the mentorship follows the steps step by step, texts their coach as they're going through it, and actually does the work that it takes and doesn't expect for the work to just happen to them. I say a 95% success rate.
Yeah.
It's a very, very high success rate. We've seen so many people come through this and have finished it and go on with our mentorship. They take it to the next level and are really successful in this business. They are reaching the goals that they had set for themselves, physically and financially. And then, once goals are met, we set new ones.
Yeah.
We push to the next level. So,
yeah.
I would say about a 95% rate is, for the people that complete the mentorship.
Yeah.
Now, that's to say there's some people, and being completely transparent, that don't complete the mentorship.
Yeah.
But that's not anything that Becky can do, that I can do. I can't control. I can't.
We're all adults here. You know.
You've got one mother. I don't want to be your next mother. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how we treat it. I'm not going to come over and go, hey, are you going to work out today? Or ooh, that would be annoying.
Yeah. We have groups set up for that accountability and stuff too. So
yeah,
for sure.
Great question though. I have never actually tried the products. Do you have coaches who start in the same boat? Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Jessica, I was going to say, Jessica was one. Do you want to share a little bit about your story? She was one that started with.
Yeah, so I was one of the people though that was just so ready to overhaul my health and my life. And I found Kelsey on Instagram and she was doing XYZ, and I was I'm in. I'm going to do XYZ. Whatever she's doing, I'm doing. So I just jumped in, and then really though 9 months later, I've come to know and love and try all of the products and know what works for me the best, and so can speak to it to other people wholeheartedly in a way that it's truly affected my life and bettered my life in so many ways. So yeah, absolutely.
Amazing results.
Yeah, I was on mute.
We still?
I unmuted you. It was halfway through.
I was gonna say what I was saying was Jessica's got some amazing results for someone that's never had tried the programs or products, and she went all in with them. Check her out on Instagram, the Jessica Moore.
Yeah, she's awesome. Good questions. I love them.
Jamie started with Just Bod. It's amazing. You know what we started with, guys?
But
we started with a burnt copy of P90X.
Not coaching though, but that's how I got
That's how we got.
That's how I got into Beachbody. Yeah.
That was our first program was a burnt copy that we
bought
from somebody at your work that was ripping them off.
I know.
And we had like,
it was when I lived in my apartment by myself, and I literally had to like move my
coffee table.
I was like, what's that thing called? Mom brain, and I'm tired. Coffee table out of the way to work out. Like that's what I did back then. So. And
there was like 23 DVDs because, you know, they were burnt DVDs. So you had to like put one DVD of P90X actually took 2 discs because I couldn't fit it all on one. So it was ridiculous.
It was good. It was good times.
We are Andrea says I had a burnt copies of Insanity.
I think everyone has burnt
We are
copies.
the reason that they went to BOD because we can no longer rip them off.
Good questions tonight. Did I miss any? Let me look at it. Any other questions? We're happy to answer. This is for you guys, so if you have them, definitely don't hesitate.
Okay. Was this at least helpful? Okay. People are like, oh, I'm getting off.
Awesome. Well, I can tell you that our next influencers are starting on Monday, which is, I think it's September 30th. Is that Monday? I believe it is.
Sounds
so
right.
You'd want to reach out to the person that invited you to this call like soon if you want a spot, because we do only take so many people at once. And the reason being is that Becky's got 3 kids, Jessica has 2, we have 3. Like we can't let everyone in and take our, I have to keep my priorities in line. Becky has to keep her priorities in line, all the things. So the
kids can only watch so much YouTube.
But so that's the point, is we really just want to be able to pour into you and give you what you deserve. And so we are only accepting a few people. We only have a couple spots left for our September mentorship. So definitely reach out to the person that invited you to this call if you definitely want a spot or if you have questions later. So Becky, Jessica, do you have anything you want to add?
Other than you want Chipotle?
I know. Let's do it. All right, you guys. Well,
thanks for coming to the call tonight. We really enjoyed getting to meet you.
Yeah.
And reach out to the person that invited you to this call tonight.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks for joining us.